Don't you love Blur's nightcap and also his night shirt? Since I first put these on 2 or 3 days ago, I've really fallen in love with them. They're terrific, aren't they? What fun, what lovely colours. These are Peter Christian's best, so get your orders in. Order nightshirts and nightcaps, and of course, don't forget the gentleman's smoking cap too. And you'll be in business. And look at their website, all those lovely other garments. And when you write in, send in your order, they'll be very generous with a cricketing discount. Now, cricket, before we do that, I'm going to live up to my name of Blowers. There we are. Now, it's all going to start again. England have only come back a week ago from the Ashes, that disastrous series, and this weekend they're off again. They're going off, the players, to Sri Lanka, where they have 3 ODI matches. There's a squad for that, which is a little bit different for the 3 T20 matches that follow. And then after that, the whole party goes to India for the T20 World Cup, which starts in Mumbai when they play Nepal on the 7th of February. And there are 3 matches, and that is the first day of the World Cup. Now, hanging over this World Cup like a grey duvet, you might almost say, is, of course, the Ashes and the report, which can only be a withering report, which the ECB, the England Wales Cricket Board, are at the moment compiling and will release, I imagine, not until after the T20 World Cup is over, because obviously with, the 2 principal worriers about what this report says are the 2 most important people in the World Cup. We've got Harry Brook, the captain, who of course is in trouble having had that altercation with the bouncer outside a nightclub in New Zealand way back before the Ashes series when they had those one-day games in New Zealand. He was fined £30,000, remember, and it was a very serious offence. I personally think the ECB have got it badly wrong. He should have been stood down from the captaincy before the World Cup. Jos Buttler should have been asked to reassume those duties for the World Cup, and so Harry Brook would then have not exactly have had the weight of that on his shoulders, quite as he will now. And the other person who will be very anxious about what this report says is Brendan McCullum, the manager-coach. He was in charge in Australia, and Bazball went badly wrong, didn't it? I personally believe that both Bazball and McCullum have run their course and that really we've got to move on, but I'm not sure that's what will happen. We will see if England do have a good T20 World Cup. If they won it, then I think they might feel that, I must just stop this falling off. They might feel, if we won the T20 World Cup, that McCullum must stay. Personally, I think Robert Key, the managing director of English cricket, got it wrong when he asked McCullum to do both the white ball and the red ball jobs. I think nowadays, with so much the proliferation of cricket, one-day cricket follows test cricket, follows one-day cricket, it goes on madly all the time. I think there's too much for one person to do, and I think you've got to have 2 different manager coaches, so to speak, doing the 2 different forms of the game. I just think it's an ask too far for McCullum. And I think this may, in a way, have been one of the reasons he perhaps took his eye off the ball as he did in the Tour of Australia. Anyway, that's for the future, but they are going to go through India worried about the outcome of this this paper that the Lords are going to produce, this report on what happened in Australia. Otherwise, there are 7 players in all, including Brook, who come from the Australian tour. They've been home for a week and then they've got to go straight back into it. It's going to be difficult for them, isn't it, to adjust, especially with the sort of rather depressing hangover from Australia. But England are at their best. They're a good one-day side. They won the T20 World Cup under Owen Morgan, didn't they, back in 2019. And if they got it together now, there's no reason they shouldn't go on and do great things. They've got 3 one-day games, 3 ODIs, haven't they, first of all, 50 overs. And we've got, in fact, Zach Crawley and Joe Root joining the squad for those 2. For those 3, rather. The first 3 games they will play in Sri Lanka. And then when it comes to the T20s, Root and Crawley will disappear. And then Josh Tongue, who was a great success in Australia in the two tests he played, he comes in, and it'll be a good chance for him to underline all the good impressions he made in Australia. Will England do well? I don't know. It's a great Tom Banton, the young batsman from Somerset. It's a terrific chance for him. We got the old warhorse, Bryden Cass, who was the chief wicket taker in Australia. He's going to be there. He'll bowl his heart out. But I cannot understand why someone who bowls as much as he does can't get his accuracy a little bit better, a little bit more right. He never, well, he doesn't never, but he doesn't often drop consistently into the right areas. Then the batsman, Duckett, will be there. I'm not sure. Believe that Duckett has got much of a place to play in England cricket in the future. In Australia, he was bad. He averaged under 20 of the bat and dropped too many catches. I think there must be a grave doubt over him. But nonetheless, this is a different competition. And after the ODIs at the start of the Sri Lankan tour, they've then got the 3 T20s. And that's going to give them a chance to sort of get World Cup orientated. And then they go to India, and their first game is against Nepal. Now, Nepal, you may think, goodness me, that's a fairly insignificant side. But you know, Nepal play very good cricket. And not only that, they've got their own T20 franchise competition, which is a great success. I think Nepal may be a little bit harder than, sorry, it's wanting to fall off. You can't do that, it's so lovely. I think Nepal may be a little bit harder nut to crack than we think. Then we play them in Mumbai. Then we play West Indies in Mumbai. And the West Indies are not a strong side at the moment. We ought to win those two games easily. Then we go to Kolkata, or Kolkata, get his pronunciation right, to Eden Gardens, where we play Bangladesh, another beatable side, and then Italy in the World Cup for the first time. That'll be marvellous and rather exciting. I don't think they're going to make much of an impression against England unless they've lost all the way up until then. But even so, it'll be exciting to see the Italians, and it'd be lovely if they put on a good show for us. And so I think England should have no trouble in reaching the last 8 of the competition. And then it really begins, doesn't it, in the knockout stages. How are they going to get on? Well, that's for the future. Anyway, they're going out now. There are quite a sprinkling of younger, talented players with their ways to make, and they will blend in with the old, I was going to say the old hacks from the Ashes tour, but the ones who really had a lot of cricket. But when you suddenly go into a dressing room and there are lots of new young players, different young players perhaps I should say, it gives you energy, it raises the enthusiasm levels, and this may do the trick for England. Anyway, I shall be on after each match to tell you exactly what has happened and how it's going. But as I say, let's hope that the influence of these new players can lift England and let them sort of put the Ashes and all that happened there into the back of their minds. Now, Peter Christian, just look at me. I know you probably organise your sleeping cap better than I can, but it's great fun. I love this doggle, don't you? And it's good colours too. But as I say, don't forget the the gentleman's smoking cap as well. That's lovely. Send in your orders. You'll get a discount back, and all will be splendid.